Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I am Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup, I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you are interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impressions and what I recommend for the brand new Nomad Cosmetics Costa Rica palette. Now, the actual name for this is in Spanish, which I don't speak. I think it's Spanish. Yeah. Which I don't speak, so I'm just gonna call it the Costa Rica palette. Now, before we dive into my typical sort of first impressions style video, I do want to say that this video is in collaboration with my dear friend Dion Loves Makeup. Now, Dion actually reached out to me and said, hey, did you get the Nomad Cosmetics palette? And I was like, yeah, it's beautiful, it's stunning. And we were just going back and forth on how amazing it is. And she's like, would you want to do a collab on it? And I was like, absolutely. Now, Dion is one of my favorite channels to watch. She calls herself a part of the crazy troll nation. She calls herself a troll. And I freaking love it because she approaches makeup and content creation with just like this love of life and just doing whatever your spirit calls you to do. You know, makeup is meant to be fun. Makeup is meant to be a form of self-expression. You can't do it wrong, and you just do what your spirit moves you to do, and you just have a good time. And that's what it means to be a part of the crazy troll nation, which I love. And she is so funny. Like, I swear to God, she just has these lines where it's like, you just laugh it and just crack it up. So I was really excited to do this this collab with her. Now, Dion has several videos on this palette on her channel already, so make sure you go and check out those. She's done like first impressions and a couple of looks with it. And we decided that, you know, like with my first impressions video, I'd be talking about whether or not to buy it, and she's gonna come back now that she's done a couple of looks with this and has like a really deep, you know, sense of like whether or not she likes the palette. She's gonna be speaking about it from that perspective, while mine is definitely the first impressions perspective. So you're gonna get both sides of the coin here. So her channel, her information will be linked down below. Please make sure you head over there, show her some love, check it out. If you are coming from Dion's channel, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoy the content and you consider sticking around. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So, like I said from the title, we're diving into the new Costa Rica palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This was gifted to me by the brand, and I'm so grateful for Nomad for sending this my way. Nomad is a brand that I discovered, was it in 2020? I keep forgetting the year. Honestly, 2020 and 21 are very confusing years for me, so I have no idea how time works anymore. But that being said, I started off when they had their America's Parks palette. I fell in love with the formula, and I've either bought or received all of their releases since then. I've purchased a lot of their palettes, but I've gotten a couple sent to me in PR, and this one was sent to me. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of product details, as I usually do, and then we'll dive into some live swatches, and then I will create this look for you. Now, what I absolutely love about Nomad Cosmetics is that their brand is centered around this theme of travel, so it's always based on a country or a place or something like that. And with each palette, you always get a little postcard. Now, I should have kept this. I should have kept all of my postcards, but I don't. But I do think it's a really cute touch, and if you collect them, I think it's adorable. Now, on the postcard, it says, this is the new Nomad and Monteverde Cloud Forest palette. The story. A pioneer in environmental protection, Monteverde Cloud Forest is one of Costa Rica's most precious natural treasures. Consisting of separate, flourishing ecosystems, the Cloud Forest wows visitors with abundant beauty, bounty, and biodiversity. Wander at the lush forest with trees touching the clouds, and peek at the rare creatures and flora hiding in the magical mist of Monteverde. The palette. So it's a canopy of gradient forest greens dotted with vivid pops of color from the flowers and animals that peek through the verdant trees. 12 flourishing mats and 6 luminescent shimmers inspired by a one-of-a-kind wildlife wonderland. The cause. We are so proud to help the Cloud Forest and all of its inhabitants by supporting the Monteverde Cloud Forest Preserve. Adorable. That's another thing too with Nomad Cosmetics, is that each palette that they release, part of the proceeds goes towards supporting the cause, towards supporting a specific cause for whatever area they're visiting. So I always really appreciate that they go, they visit these countries, they visit these places, and then they take some of the proceeds and give back. So I've been showing you all the palette like this, but what I love about this is that it actually comes in this super cool sleeve. Like, I never keep the sleeves of these palettes, but this one I think I'm gonna have to. Like, you can see there are cutouts in the sleeve, and that is because when you put the palette in, you get to see the little sloths and the birds. It is the cutest thing. So I will definitely be keeping my sleeve. Now, within the sleeve, you will see all of the product details in the back. So you'll see the shade names as well as some more details about the palette. So this is cruelty-free and vegan, and it does have a 12-month shelf life. And this was made in, where was this made? This was made in China. So like I said in the description, you do get 12 mattes and 6 shimmers. And you can see here, this is a stunning, absolutely beautiful palette. The description also mentions that it is very green heavy because it's inspired by the forest. So you'll see a lot of greens, and then you see pops of color, which are sort of the flowers and the wildlife that live within the forest, which I love. You know, I love that this is such a vibrant palette. So these are all of the shades here. I am super excited. And the last thing that I want to say before we dive into the swatches and the eye look is that this will retail for $44. This is the larger size Nomad palette. If you've been purchasing and following Nomad for a while, their palettes come in 2 sizes, one that's slightly smaller than this, and that one retails for $39. But this big size, which is the same size as like the Paradise Venus, will be $44. Okay, let's dive into the swatches and then we will quickly transition into this eye look. Okay, so now that we've been through the product details, let's dive into some swatches. So here you can see really up close the embossing, which is absolutely stunning, just gorgeous. I'm just gonna go row by row and swatch it on my arm, and then we're gonna dive into one quick look. So here we have the first 4 shades. Hanging Bridges, Jaguar, Glass Wings, Violet Saber Wing. Here we have the next 4 shades. Cloud Canopy, Orchid, Bromeliad, hope I'm pronouncing that right, and River Trail. That's a real pretty purple. Here are the next 4 shades. Toucan, Wildlife Wonderland, Resplendent Topaz, Magical Mist. These mattes are pigmented. Wow. Here we have the first 4 shades in the final row. Spiny Green Lizard, Blue Morpho, oh my god, wow, Green Mountain, and I'm gonna swatch this one here, Passiflora. Let me do that one again real quick. And then these are the last 2 shades. Two-Toed Sloth, Green Vine Snake. Okay, so these are all of the shades in the new Costa Rica palette from Nomad Cosmetics. Wow. I will say these mattes are even more beautiful than I thought they were gonna be, and I am obsessed already. All right, let me wipe this off and then we'll dive into a quick eye look. I always say a quick eye look and it's never quick. I try, I really do. Okay, so I want to create something that's a little intense today. So I'm actually going to start by first going into the pink shade. This is Orchid, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade across the entire lid. Oh my gosh. The pickup is insane on this. Wow. It did say intense color palette, so didn't lie. Look at that. Now, even though this is intense color immediately, you can blend it out. I'm noticing that it is softening up as I blend. Next, I'm going to take a slightly smaller blending brush and I'm going to go into the deep purple. It's Violet Saber Wing, and I'm going to blend that into the crease. It's not really like a transition shade, but I am blending it into the purple. But what I need isn't the same as what I'm wanting. I'm going to bring it down a little bit because I kind of want to do a halo eye. Now I'm just gonna take my time, slowly add, build, and blend. And these shades are laying really, really nicely, blending like a dream. Then I'm gonna go into the orange shade. This is called Jaguar, and I'm gonna put that into like right here, like right on the edges of where that purple is getting into the center. So I'm just gonna take a very, very small Refa number 14 brush, picking up a little bit of that product, and just lightly, ever so lightly, blending it into the purple here. Game, even though I don't know basketball from the game. This is a look right here. So I've just changed my mind and I'm just gonna fill in this little space here. And then lastly, I'm gonna go into the shade here. It's called Hanging Bridges. This was the first shade that I saw, and I was like, yeah, that needs to go on my lids immediately. Look at that, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna actually plop that into the center of the lid on top of the orange. That is literally a whole different color. Told myself I wouldn't be here, back in the car on the way to your apartment. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, so this is what the eyes are looking like right now. You can see things are a little bit harsh, so I'm gonna do my usual. I'm gonna go back in with my mattes, you know, just blend everything together, try to get a real nice smooth transition across everything, and then I will finish up my face and come back and give you guys my first impressions, thoughts, would I recommend, should you buy it, all of that. Why does it feel right when it isn't? I'm a good catch, maybe it's just bad falling for you. I know I'm a good catch, I just got some bad habits, sliding up the wrong match. Why does it feel right when it isn't? I'm a good catch, maybe it's just bad falling for you. Swear I would watch the Lakers game, even though I don't know basketball from the game we're playing. Okay, so I'm back. This is the final look. And I'm looking at my little mirror here. I really like this. I think this is super cute. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Yeah, okay. So before we dive into my final thoughts on whether or not I would recommend this, just a little bit of product details on what else I'm wearing on my face. So I actually started off by going in with my Bobbi Brown face base moisturizer because my skin has been feeling a little dry, and it could be because of my new acne products. For my, well, second primer, if you want to call it that, I did go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is in shade number 6. I do have this in shade number 5 as well. I've been kind of testing this out, seeing how I feel about it. I don't have the Charlotte Tilbury to compare, but I wanted to give that one a try. I don't think I'll buy the Charlotte Tilbury either. I'm not spending $44. No. For foundation, I'm wearing the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation. This is in the shade 70 Warm Yellow. I did go in with my LYS concealer per usual. For bronzer, I'm wearing an oldie but a goodie. This is the ABH bronzer in the shade Mahogany. For blush, I went in with the pink shade in this blush palette, just this one right here. This is the BH Mrs. Claus palette. I think this was holiday 2021, and I found this at TJ Maxx. And for highlight, I am using my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Multi Glow. This is the deep version, so I'm not sure what this one is called, but this was there's a light and a deep. This one is the deeper one, which is more golden. The light one is more cool toned. And for lips, yes, lastly, lips, I'm wearing Her Magic from Proper Beauty. Love the Proper Beauty lipstick formula. It is amazeballs. Oh, what happened there? Okay. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the new Nomad palette. I really like this, and to be quite honest, I knew I was gonna like this, or I had like a real strong inclination that I was gonna like this because I was really drawn to the color story of this. Like I said in the intro, I squealed like a baby pig when I saw this color story. I thought it was so stunning, and I think that it is really beautiful. If you like colorful eyeshadow, I think that you will really enjoy this. Now, you're not really gonna get a lot of neutral looks out of this. I mean, green, yeah, I wouldn't consider green neutral. So you're not gonna get a lot of neutral looks out of this. So if neutral isn't your color scheme, then this may not be the color story for you or the palette for you. But I do think that this is really beautiful if you want some real bright, vibrant eyeshadows. I was really impressed with the pigmentation of the shades that I used for this look and today, because when it comes to bright, vibrant eyeshadows, what I found is that most brands will do pressed pigments to get that vibrancy, and this is not a pressed pigment palette. So if you have sensitive eyes and you've been struggling to find a eyeshadow that's bright and vibrant, that's not a pressed pigment, I think that this is a really good option. So the last thing that I want to do though is show you guys how this palette compares to the Paradise Venus. Now you can see the packaging for both of these are very bright. This was the one that came out around spring, and this is the color story here. And here we have the Costa Rica palette. So you can already see the vibrancy is so much higher in this palette versus this one. I've described this one as pastels for black people because I really do think the shades here definitely lean more pastel, and some of these lighter ones are a little bit problematic on deeper skin tones or on my skin tone. So I feel like this gives you nice soft color, whereas this one is like punchy. But I do think that these can actually blend really well, because overall when you look at the colors, they tend to lean the same, right? So you have greens, you have pinks, you have purples. So and you do have a little bit of blue. So I feel like if you wanted to, you could pair both of these together and come up with a really beautiful look. So the question that we are trying to answer, would I recommend this? Yes, I would 100% recommend this. This is the good Nomad Cosmetics formula. Granted, I've only done one look so far, but I will say that I found that the mattes blended really well. They were very pigmented, and I had no issues. They are that sort of powdery texture, so you will get a lot of kick up in the pan, so just make sure you tap your brush off before going in. But I don't mind that much. I didn't think that it was too much kick up where I was getting cross-contamination, so super happy with that. And the shimmer that I use, stunning. Now, when it comes to Nomad Cosmetics and their shimmers, they're not going to give you that super high shine, over the top sparkly shimmers that you would get with a lot of indie brands, but I actually like that. And I will say, from swatching these, they do seem like they pack a punch. I was particularly impressed with this shimmer here because it looks green in the pan, but as you can tell on my lids, it's pretty pink. So this will take the color of, you know, whatever eyeshadow you lay down So I think that if I actually put this next to more of the green shades, it would look more green than pink. But I'm not mad at how this turned out. It's definitely a more green leaning palette with some, you know, other pops in between, but I love a good green eyeshadow. And I think that overall this color story works. It works for me. I really like it. I think there's a good ratio of mattes to shimmers, and I think that you can get a lot of really beautiful looks with this. So I would definitely recommend this. However, I do think that, one, wait for a sale. If you don't need this right away, if this doesn't speak to you, but you kind of want to add it to your collection, wait for a sale 100%. And two, make sure you use somebody's code. You know, I know a lot of creators who have codes with Nomad. So like Bones, I think his code is just Bones. Beauty and the Frizz, I'm not sure what his is, but Cara from Beauty and the Frizz has one. Dion, who I'm doing this collab with, she has a code as well. So make sure you use somebody's code to get money off. Don't pay full price for makeup. We don't do that over here. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you head over to Dion Loves Makeup and give her channel a look. Like, honestly, send her some of my love. Let her know that I sent you. She really is a ton of fun. If you just want to watch like real fun, chill content on makeup, make sure you go subscribe and support her. If you like this video and you enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you thought it was cool. Share with a friend if you think they will enjoy the content as well. As always, I love you guys so very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!